Going into the J-Mo situation, my man. J-Mo had a penalty in his first catch of the game, which was the second catch which was the second play of the game. Okay, Fried Crop says flannel is a bust. All right, so J-Mo had a penalty, and I didn't do this during the game because I was doing the watch party and I had to stay invested and talk to the people who were there. Shout out for everybody who came through. Shout out Just a Fan who came through when we were trying to collectively will the Vikings to lose, but that didn't happen. So I didn't go on Twitter during the game or X. I went after. Kane Press. All right, I didn't see your comment. Hold on. Is it me that you're saying? I'm gonna get to your comments. Let me get some of my J-Mo love out. Okay? Let me get the J-Mo love. So I go on Twitter after the game, and Woodward Sports, shout out Woodward Sports, they posted on their Twitter, do you think that J-Mo should have been flagged for this? Right? A lot of people couldn't understand exactly what happened. Okay, he spun the ball. Wow, big whoop. One of the softest, that and the Jahmyr Gibbs taunting penalty were some of the softest taunting penalties I've ever seen. And you could see at the end of the game, the referee tried to call a taunting penalty because if he got up and was slapping fives with his teammates. What is up though, Lions fans? I interrupted today's video just to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. And our sponsors are none other than you, the people. If you want to become a supporter, a fan of the channel, just go ahead and scan that QR code right there on the screen. You don't have to do it, but what I would like you to do, smash that like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And now, let's get back to the show. I mean, sometimes I don't understand what the NFL is trying to do, but these are grown men. Tell me I suck all day and twice on Sundays, and I will dry my tears with $100 bill. Because I'm making $10, $20 million a year. Okay, I think that these guys' egos are not so fragile that they can't handle a little bit of taunting. And if you have a problem with being taunted while competing in a sport to beat the other man on the other side of you, beat him. Then you won't get taunted. That's my take. But he goes on after this penalty to have his best game of the season. I said after this penalty happened, and I was in shock that it happened. I said, now watch this situation, because I said before the game, or, I did a video before and I talked about Tyreek Stevenson and his inability to do things at a normal person's level as far as like understanding the game and situational football. And he does a lot of silly things that cost his team during the game. We know about the Hail Mary. We know about the trip in Detroit. We know about these things. So I said, watch this matchup. I said, if the Bears are dumb enough to ever single cover J-Mo with Tyreek Stevenson, you're going to see a deep shot to J-Mo. A little bit later, we saw an 82-yard bomb, 54 air yards from Jared Goff be thrown to J-Mo. J-Mo caught it, scored the touchdown, stared down Tyreek Stevenson, waited for his teammates to come so he can celebrate. After the situation, after the penalty, you saw Dan Campbell just pull him close. Wasn't screaming, wasn't yelling. He was just letting him know, can't have that, man. You know, we can't have it. He goes on to have his best game of his career. 5 receptions for 143 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Williams is special. Jameson Williams is dynamic. Jameson Williams, as the official keeper of the JMO, it thrills me. It thrills me to let you guys know that Jameson Williams has 890 yards on the season after missing 2 games due to the PES suspension. He's 110 yards away from 1,000 yards with 2 games to go. So for all the haters that were on Twitter talking about how immature he was and how we need to trade him and, you know, he's never going to learn, he's never going to get it. Dan Campbell, your head coach, just pulled him close, gave him some words of encouragement. And he's like, yeah, you know, he's taking the coaching, right? He's explaining himself a little bit, but it's not confrontational at all. There are no raised voices. There is no tension between him and Dan Campbell. He's gone on record as saying when he first got there, he used to butt heads with Dan Campbell a little bit because, you know, he kind of wanted to do things his way. And he's gotten away from that. And that was a tender moment on the sidelines. Like a father talking to his son calmly and letting him know, look, I'm confident that you're going to make it better and you're going to do the right thing, but we just can't have that situation. And he rewards that confidence with 143 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Williams is here. He has arrived. In his first full season, minus the 2-game suspension, first full season as a staple of the Detroit Lions offense, as the number 2 overall or the number 2 wide receiver, Jameson Williams really looks like he's going to cross that 1,000-yard barrier. And just like last year when we had 2,000-yard running backs, this year we'll have 2,000-yard receivers. Say what you want to say about JMO, but if you want to say something bad, at some point you have to try to figure out why your opinion is the way that it is and why you're rooting for Jameson Williams to fail, while everyone else on the team, coaches included, especially the head honcho, right? The guy that wants the whole enchilada, Dan Campbell. Go look at that moment on the sideline and see if Dan Campbell is tired of Jameson Williams' act. Go look at that moment on the sideline and see if Dan Campbell has lost faith in Jameson Williams. Go look at that moment on the sidelines and see if Dan Campbell is actively rooting against that player on his team, or if he's rooting for him and the things that he has said about him are actually the truth. And he is a valuable member of this team, and he's a part of the family. He's a part of the culture. Jameson Williams loves football. He loves football. Look at his interviews. He's so positive. He's always smiling. He's having fun. They showed him the play, and he was breaking it down, and he was talking about his Kodak bop and celebration. And you see me stir him down? You see me stir him down? Like he's a pause. He's a ray of sunshine. So if you have ill feelings towards that young man, the problem is you. It's not him. If you came for all the stats and none of the static, if you're trying to keep your Lions news pragmatic, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And plus, you know you can't get enough of the victory buffs.